When you think about prisons, you probably imagine bars, guards, and someone yelling "lights out." But imagine walking into a prison where there isn't a single guard in sight. No shouting, no footsteps, just cameras staring at you from every angle, and a calm synthetic voice telling you where to stand. It's like walking into a smart home that really doesn't like you. Because overnight, every warden, every officer, every supervisor has been replaced by one thing: AI. From now on, every door that opens, every light that turns on, every punishment and every reward is decided by an algorithm that knows more about you than you know about yourself. So what happens when AI runs every prison on Earth? Would it make us safer? Or would it build the most efficient punishment machine in human history? First, let's see what usually happens when someone ends up behind bars. You're arrested, processed, photographed. Your fingerprints, your name, and your story go into a system. Humans decide which prison you go to, which wing you're placed in, and who your cellmate is. They look at your crime, your past behavior, your health. Sometimes they trust their training. Sometimes they trust their gut. Every day follows a routine. Wake up, head count, breakfast, work or yard time, lockdown. Guards walk the halls. Some are fair. Some abuse their power. Some look the other way when something bad is about to happen. The system is messy, biased, and sometimes brutal. So someone eventually says, humans make too many mistakes. Let's put the entire thing in the hands of something that can't be bribed, can't be tired, and can't look away. Now imagine your first day in an AI-run prison. You step through the gate of your new high-tech cage. A camera scans your face. A sensor reads your heart rate. Microphones pick up the way your voice shakes when you answer questions. A calm voice says, Inmate 4172. Risk score, 63. Assigned, Block C, Cell 18. Great. According to the machine, you're officially more dangerous than a houseplant, but less dangerous than a butter knife. The doors slide open without a single human touch. Above every corridor, smart cameras track body language. On the ceiling of your cell, a black glass eye monitors how long you sleep, how often you stare at the wall, and how quickly you move when the alarm sounds. You're not just a name anymore. You're a moving cluster of data points. Your crime, your age, your medical history, your friends on the outside, your online habits, all compared against millions of other prisoners from all over the world. You press a button on the wall. Why was my cell changed? Behavior pattern resembles known escape attempts. Security level increased. You've never tried to escape. You just happen to pace your cell the same way someone else did 5 years ago in another country. The AI doesn't care who you are. It only cares what you look like to the data. At first, this AI prison looks perfect. Fights drop. Weapons are found before they're used. The system spots raised heart rates, tense shoulders, and clusters of inmates forming in the wrong corner of the yard, and locks everything down before a punch is thrown. Lights dim automatically when noise levels get too high. Medical drones roll to a cell the moment a prisoner collapses on the floor. On paper, it's the safest prison ever built. No contraband phones. No blind spots. No lost security footage. Politicians love it. Budgets love it. Headlines call it the future of justice. But inside the cells, another story is forming. You apply for a job in the kitchen. Request denied. Risk of sabotage. You ask to join a rehabilitation class. Request denied. Risk of disruption. At this point, you're starting to suspect the only thing you're allowed to do is breathe. And the AI is still thinking about that one. You haven't started a fight. You haven't refused an order. But somewhere in the system, people with your age, your neighborhood, and your type of crime caused problems before. So now the algorithm treats you like a future problem. One inmate in the next block tries to challenge it. He files dozens of appeals through the tablet in his cell. Your score is incorrect. I haven't been in trouble in years. The answer is always the same. Request reviewed. No change. Decision optimal for overall safety. No face. No discussion. No one to say, I see that you're trying. Just a digital wall that never blinks. One night, tension explodes. 2 prisoners start shouting in the yard. Others circle around them. In a human-run prison, guards would rush in. Some would yell. Some would try to calm things down. Some might make it worse. Here, no one rushes anywhere. The system detects a spike in heart rate, movement, and noise. It silently seals the doors. Floodlights blast on, and a warning flashes across every wall screen. Hostile incident detected. Commencing suppression protocol. Vents near the ceiling hiss. A cold mist fills the air. You cough. You choke. A message appears. Non-lethal agent deployed. Please lie face down on your bed. The AI doesn't feel panic. It doesn't feel guilt. It just calculates. How much gas will stop the violence fastest? How many injuries are acceptable? There is no officer to say, "Stop, that's enough." No one to grab a colleague's arm and pull them back. The same system that decided to release the gas is the system that writes the report about what happened. A prison run by AI is a prison with cameras everywhere, but no real witnesses, only logs, only numbers, and numbers don't tell stories. Years go by. You mark days on the wall, even though the AI already knows exactly how long you've been here, down to the second. You try to keep your head down. You follow the rules. You say yes when the voice tells you where to stand and when to move. In the old world, there was at least a chance that a human would notice. A guard who sees you helping others. A counselor who hears how you talk about your past. A warden who says, "This person is different from the file." In this world, the file is all that exists. Every argument you had, every time you refused a meal, every night you couldn't sleep and paced your cell for an hour, all of it was recorded, scored, filed away under your name. One day you imagine sitting in front of a screen. Release review complete. Probability of future violence, 22.7%. Threshold for release, 20%. Status, continue confinement. If only you'd been a little less angry during that argument 3 years ago, you might be free right now. But in this system, you are trapped behind a decimal point. And it doesn't end when you leave. Because every job application, every apartment search, every bank loan, asks the same question. What does the AI say about you? Your prison data follows you. Every mistake, every outburst, every time you broke down and shouted at a camera in the middle of the night. You might walk out the gate, but you never really leave the prison. This might sound like pure science fiction, but right now, pieces of this world already exist. Some prisons use algorithms to predict which inmates are likely to fight. Some courts use risk scores to help decide who gets bail and who stays locked up. Some police forces test AI that watches camera feeds and flags suspicious behavior. The technology to watch, measure, and control people at scale is already here. What we don't have yet is one system in charge of everything. No human wardens. No human officers. Just code. At least not yet. On one hand, an AI-run prison could save lives. Could spot fights before they happen, detect medical emergencies in seconds, cut corruption, stop abuse. On the other hand, it could turn punishment into something cold and permanent. If the data is biased, the decisions are biased. If the code is wrong, the whole system is wrong. And if no one is brave enough to question the algorithm, then no one is truly in charge. Not you, not the guards, not even the government. Just a machine optimizing whatever it was told to optimize. Safety, order, profit, things that sound good on paper, until you're the one trapped inside the machine. It's easy to say, if you don't want to face this, don't commit a crime. But systems like this rarely stay inside prison walls. Once we get used to AI controlling the most extreme parts of our justice system, how long before it starts deciding who gets stopped in the street, who gets into certain schools, or who is too risky for certain neighborhoods? Your entire life could be scored, just like a prisoner's. And one day you might ask, when did the prison stop being a place and start being an algorithm around all of us? But what if AI didn't just run the prisons? What if it designed the perfect crime no prison could ever hold? Well, that's a story for another time. If this made you see prisons and AI in a different way, do one thing for me. Hit like, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you don't miss the next What If AI story on this channel. It tells YouTube this is worth showing to more people, and it lets me keep making bigger, crazier AI scenarios for you.